Hi everyone, so welcome to this reading. I can't believe this is our first YouTube live of 2021. Sorry, I know this was meant to be yesterday, but I wasn't feeling well, so I decided to reschedule for today, and I am feeling a lot better. So what we'll do is we're just going to see what comes through. I'll give it some time for you guys to join, so we have a few minutes just to kind of chat amongst ourselves, and then we will just, kind of see what comes through generally. I'm not like going to focus on relationships or love, like usually they are the messages that come through, but as always I'm just going to keep this really open so we can kind of get whatever messages we need to hear, and kind of be open to what spirit wants to say to us rather than us trying to seek messages for like a specific area. So we're going to keep this open, see what direction it heads in. And yeah, I hope you guys all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year, and you're kind of like getting used to 2021. Let me know how you guys are feeling. I know that the full moon at the end of December was quite intense. It was a full moon in Cancer, and we actually began 2020 with a full moon in Cancer as well. So it kind of felt like last year we ended the year maybe being taken back a little bit to where we were at the start of 2020. So maybe some old thoughts came up, maybe some old patterns came up to be released, or you might have found yourself revisiting really similar areas. So that might not be for everyone, that's just kind of how I felt. Like it was a full moon in Cancer sandwich 2020, so it was a little bit emotional and intense. Like my sun is in Cancer, so and I've got like 4 planets in Cancer in my birth chart, so I quite like the full moon in Cancer, but I know that some of you guys may find that very emotionally triggering. So yeah, I hope you're all feeling much better now. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling. And yeah, we will begin in a few moments. So just a reminder that because this is a general reading, please don't ask personal questions. If you do, you'll be placed in the timeout area, just because it kind of makes it harder for me to channel. So if you want to ask a personal question, then please book a personal reading with me or one of the other wonderful readers on YouTube or Instagram. So yeah, I actually haven't decided what decks I'm going to use either, so if you guys have any suggestions about which decks you want me to use, then I'm open to suggestions. Yeah, so I'm just reading through your comments now. It took a while to load. There is a new moon on the 13th, which I think is Wednesday, or are we on the 10th or the 11th today? Like sometime midweek next week there is a new moon. So it is a wonderful time to manifest. So don't worry if you feel like you missed your window for new moon manifestations, for like setting your new year manifestations. Some of you may feel like you weren't in the right emotional place to set those intentions. And I know it's like important that we use kind of like these portal energies to help us with intention setting or with releasing or whatever your ritual is. But to be honest, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. So I know that when the new year came about for me, personally, I just wasn't feeling like that was the right time for me to set intentions. So instead I've used those 2 weeks to kind of reflect and think about, well, what do I actually want to achieve this year? Because I was so busy focusing on so much from last year, like getting Sacred Space ready, that I didn't really have time to think ahead about what I want to achieve this year. So personally, I haven't actually set my intentions yet for 2021. I'm going to do that with the new moon this week. So that's when I plan to set my 2021 intentions. So if you haven't done it yet, please do not feel like you've done anything wrong. I know there's lots out there on Instagram and stuff kind of like pushing you to like do things a certain way, but just trust your intuition. I'm just checking that I haven't missed anything too much. Witches Tarot, Wonderland Tarot. I do have a Wonderland Tarot here. I don't have the Pagan Other Words Tarot deck. And now I'm feeling like I want that, so I'm going to screenshot that and go shopping after this live. Interesting what you said about headaches and body aches. I know I've been having loads of pain in my lower back, and I know a few people who've said that they've had quite intense headaches since the start of the year, so Yeah, you might still be feeling like a little bit rough. It feels like a hangover, so to speak. Okay, I am going to use the Wonderland Tarot because that is the suggestion I had. I don't know whether Witch's Tarot is. I know someone was going to say the Tarot of Sexual Magic, and do you know what? I actually was feeling that before. Okay, yeah, I am feeling the Tarot of Sexual Magic as well. It is next door though. Will you get the deck next to my bed? Thank you. I will use the Tarot of Sexual Magic. We will, we'll use that for like the focus on love. So I'm going to start with these decks, the Wonderland Tarot, the Tattoo Tarot. I'm going to kind of mix both of them up. We'll see what comes through. And then I will use the Tarot of Sexual Magic as well. I'm feeling like a few mini spreads today. So there might be a couple of like little, a few different, not readings, but a few different messages that come through. So please just take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm going to try and get as much kind of like clarity and stuff for you as possible. So let us begin. We're beginning with the Six of Cups and the High Priestess. So with the Six of Cups, we're talking about something from the past coming back. Now, I don't want to say this is linked to like a specific person because I'm being shown a big ball of white energy. So this ball of energy is telling me that maybe memories from the past are coming up, maybe like feelings from the past are coming up. You might see this person from the past who pops back up, and I feel like for those of you where this is related to a person from the past coming back, it's going to be someone who you didn't expect to come back. This isn't the person who maybe you think of when you first hear that message, if that makes sense. So if I'm telling you like someone from the past is coming back, your mind might go to this person specifically. It might not be that one. This feels like someone who you just did not expect to ever pop up again somehow comes back up. Like maybe like a high school partner, or like doesn't even have to be like romance related. It could be like a relative who you just did not ever expect to reconcile with, or like an old friend or someone. But for lots of you, there's just lots of old energy coming back up. And this isn't a bad thing. It's coming back up to shift our perspective. So if you find lots of kind of old, I want to say baggage, but I don't feel this is like a negative thing. But if you feel like lots of old kind of baggage is coming back up, or people, then it's actually here to help you change your situation. If things felt quite stagnant, then this is what needs to be released. So what I'm shown is that there's this big wall, and this wall represents whatever it is from a past that you had to work through. So some of you were stagnant because you had unresolved healing, you know, or you had like unresolved issues with a person, and this is coming back up at this moment in time, or between now and the end of Feb, like over the next 6-7 weeks. I feel it's coming back up in this time period because this is the block that you need to work through in order to shift your situation, in order to kind of like move. I'm just showing like the river kind of flowing again, so it's like that's what's going to get things moving again. Now, if this hasn't happened yet, I do believe it is going to happen in the next like 6-7 weeks for you, like by the end of Feb basically. And this is because this is very collective. Like, this is not a specific message. Sometimes I get really random messages that come through, and these will be for like a specific few people who need that that message. But this is collective energy. This is like, we are all over the next like couple of weeks, over the next like month and a half basically, we're all going to go through, I do want to say this tower moment, but it doesn't feel heavy. Like, tower moments can feel so shocking. This doesn't feel like a shock. It just feels like a bit of a collapse of old structures, but it's not going to take you by surprise. Don't get me wrong, you might be surprised if this person who you didn't expect to hear from comes back in, but it's not going to trigger like loads of shifts. It's just like allowing this old template to kind of collapse and crumble so that you can start to move forwards. It's like the old castle walls have to come down to like free the movement again. Yeah, this is what brings balance back. Now, this High Priestess has something to reveal. So I want to see what is being revealed to us at this moment in time. Now, we have the Death card. So the Death doesn't actually speak of just endings. It also speaks of rebirth and transformations. So what is being revealed to you right now is exactly what you need in order to transform. Now, sometimes, like I said, this means that we have to seek closure on an old cycle. Perhaps this old situation has to come back up so we can release it. And once you've experienced an ending there, what you can then go through is this transformation where you can then experience a rebirth in other areas. So perhaps there's I do feel like this is a person for lots of you, but it's not a bad thing. It's like this person comes back up so that you can actually get closure on that situation. Or perhaps for some of you, there might be a rebirth there. There might be a transformation within that soul connection, which is going to come. But you'll have to, I'm getting take it with a pinch of salt. So don't hang on to that. Don't have any expectations around this kind of collective message. Because sometimes we kind of disappoint ourselves by having expectations. I know that the biggest disappointments I've had have been where I had expectations which weren't met. Not to do with relationships, but just generally. If you're working hard on something and you have this end goal in your mind and it's really, really fixed, sometimes we then get disappointed when it doesn't happen as we want it to. So something that I've really tried hard to kind of practice and develop is just kind of having no attachments to the outcomes. I do something with all my heart and passion, but then I just give it to spirit. I'm look, this will turn out however it is meant to turn out for my highest good. I don't want to hold on to expectations. Please just make it better than I imagined. And through doing that, I've started to kind of enjoy working on things a lot more because I've not really felt that pressure. I've not been putting pressure on myself. I've been just creating or doing things, trusting that the outcome will be what it's meant to be. Now, I hadn't even noticed this 8 of Wands on the bottom of the deck, but I just looked down, and the 8 of Wands is about things happening very, very quickly. So these next few weeks, things are going to start to really pick up the pace. So you might find that if things have been really slow and stagnant, all of a sudden there's going to be this big breakthrough. I keep seeing this wall crumbling, so it's old things are going to have to collapse. Perhaps some of you are really holding on to something that you just don't want to let go of, and that's okay. We can only release things when we're ready to release them. But for lots of you, you are at that point now where it is time to let go. It's time to really release the past so that you can move into the present and you can experience, more abundance and happiness. So, for lots of you, I feel there's a big bubble which has to burst, and this relates to communication. Could be with a Scorpio, and I'm getting Aquarius as well, but it doesn't have to be. I'm being told mystery and illusion. So this is someone who's a little bit mysterious, and I actually feel you might just not have a clue what is real and what's not with this person. So if this is someone who's coming back in, it's everything around that connection just feels like an illusion. You're I don't know what's real. I don't know what's true, what's false, what's 5D, what's 3D. It's there's just so much confusion here around this situation. And I believe that's why there's going to be this breakthrough, because there needs to be some kind of closure or clarity. I'm getting that. I think it's Elvis Presley, a little less conversation. So there hasn't been a lot of conversation lately with this person. Or this person does feel very sexual towards you. So clearly that is why we've got this Tarot of Sexual Magic as well. So I'll get some more info on that in a moment. Yeah, here we have the King of Cups. So I do feel for many of you, this is the person who's coming in here. And you know, it doesn't have to be love related. For lots of you, I actually do see reconciliations with old childhood friends. So I am seeing that some of you are going to start to kind of reconnect with people who maybe you had to cut out. So when we go through our like spiritual awakening, our transformation, our shadow work, whatever it is you kind of like want to call it, when you go through that journey, sometimes we have to let go of people because they're not the same vibration as us. They're not in alignment with us. And you might find that this is the year, and the start of this year in particular could very well be where you start to reconnect with people who you had to cut out. I'm getting primary school, so I don't know if so primary school is like ages 4 to like 10, I think, for those of you who don't know like the UK education system. So like 4 to 10 years old, that kind of feels like, for those of you who are reconnecting with friends, it could be like really, really old friends. So I want to see about this King of Cups. Who is this person? Straight away I'm told Divine Masculine. So we do seem to have some kind of like divine counterpart energy coming through already. This person, their moon might be in a water sign, so they could have a moon in Cancer, a moon in Scorpio, a moon in Pisces. They do not have to, but I'm shown that they're sorry, I'm being given things in like a really weird way. So water signs are all about kind of like emotions, deeper feelings, like connecting with your intuition. Now this person's moon, now your moon sign represents like your innermost self. So what I'm kind of getting is that their innermost self, right now, you know, they are naturally like very emotional. This person is very romantic at heart. This person, like, when they really connect with their soul, when they connect with their higher self, they're very feminine. You know, this person is very intuitive, you know, maybe even a little bit psychic. Maybe they have like premonitions about things. They have a very loving energy, but that is their inner self. That is not necessarily their the mask they wear to those around them. So you might have seen this person's innermost self, but maybe like other people are like telling you like, no, that's not what that person's like, haven't you met them, like they've never been like that. But that's because this person, like your divine counterpart here, has never shown that side of themselves. They've never shown their true self to others. So lots of people have this kind of idea about them, and I want you to trust your intuition. I want you to know or to trust what you know about this person. You know, just because other people haven't seen that side of them doesn't mean that it's an illusion. It doesn't mean it was all in your head. It's true. That is how that person is deep inside. But only you have the key to unlocking all of that. Only you can see past all these masks. And that's also why this person is currently out at sea, because they're a little bit lost right now. They're lost in how do I connect with my true self? You know, if your true self, as a divine masculine, if your true self is naturally quite feminine, intuitive, loving and caring, how do you start to kind of show that to people? How do you start to be more authentic? That's what this person is battling with right now, authenticity. You know, how can I be who I truly am whilst everyone else around me, you know, is acting a different way? How can I be, you know, how can I be who I am? How am I so different to other people? And that's what this person's going through right now, and being given identity crisis. They don't know who they are, or those who are working out who they are, they don't know how to be that person. It's scary. I keep being shown this take it with a pinch of salt. I don't even know if it relates to this message, but some of you might just need to hear that message, like take it with a pinch of salt. Maybe there's been a little bit of conflict, or there might be this situation which you're maybe overthinking, and Spirit's just saying like take it with a pinch of salt. Please don't overthink this, whatever this relates to. Yeah, some of you might need that message. Anyway, this person right now, whoever this is feeling under pressure. I'm getting that song, Under Pressure, pushing down on me. Like, this person feels under pressure right now because
they want to be their true self. Like, they've finally dissolved enough of their ego to know who they are. They've connected more with their heart center, basically. But now this person's scared. So let us see. We have the Two of Pentacles. This person is desperate, like, to find balance, but they're doing it in the wrong way right now. It's like they have these two sides of themselves, and they're kind of like not accepting that they can be both at once. You know, we all have so many different components to ourselves, and actually it's interesting because I'm going to do a video on this for YouTube, and it's on archetypes, because it's through working with archetypes that I managed to do so much of my healing. And I don't think lots of people know how to work with archetypes or kind of understand them. I know I didn't, because I never studied psychology or anything at school or college, so I had no information on archetypes or what they were, but I started to work with them because they really resonated with me, and through that work I kind of started to understand more about our psychology. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, this person right now, whoever you're dealing with, they are trying to be these separate people rather than accepting that, you know, we are so many different people, we are so many different personalities, and that's okay. It's not about saying I am one or the other, it's about saying I am actually a little bit of everything. You know, every person who you meet has some kind of qualities that you will have, just to like a different factor. So every person you meet will be showing you parts of yourself that maybe you like or maybe you don't like. We all have those same qualities and tendencies, and they are the archetypes within us. You know, we have, basically, our mind is like a room full of people, and when we learn to listen to these people, what we can do is we can get a grip on our emotional state. Because, for example, I know, let's say, I don't know, we can have the archetype of like the mother. So the mother as an archetype is someone who is very nurturing, very caring, but can be a little bit controlling because naturally she wants to protect her child. So the mother has this kind of quality where maybe she holds on too tightly in order to protect, but that's not giving the child enough space. So we all have that archetype within us, and it's about acknowledging, you know, maybe we're being a little bit controlling, and we can say, actually, you know, that is just that archetype being a little bit more dominant right now. So how can I work with it? How can I kind of like bring it back under control? And I just feel like that's what this person is lacking right now. They are not understanding that the way that they work. They're trying to understand how they can be these two completely different people. I'm shown, like, you know, the comic masks where you have like the black mask and the white mask, like the sad and the happy face. It's like this person maybe even feels like they have something wrong with their mental state because they're going through this awakening. They're connecting with their higher self and understanding more about who they are, but they don't actually know how to balance that. This could be you as well, guys. You know, maybe this is a message for you if this is something you're struggling with. So I'm being shown that, you know, this person's trying to find their balance towards with their different personalities or different sides of themselves, basically, because these are polar opposites. This person may be like very arrogant and kind of like boastful, but at the same time they could be so generous and kind and supportive, and it's like, it's so conflicting and confusing, and maybe you just don't know, you know, what is going on. This person might even be like, I don't know how I can be like that with everyone else but be like this with you. Like, you confuse this person. So I know it was a bit of a ramble, so yeah, look, this is really good. Look what just literally flew out. 10 of Swords and the Devil. Now the Devil represents kind of like attachments and maybe like karmic patterns and behaviors. The Devil always shows up when it's like there is something we need to think about. You know, there's something that we need to reflect on and acknowledge, whether that's like a toxic behavior we have or maybe a toxic pattern in our life. Now, the Ten of Swords speaks of ending. So those two cards flying out together is literally saying that don't worry, this situation is changing. You know, there is going to be a big shift in this situation because this kind of karmic lesson or cycle is coming to an end here with the Ten of Swords. So this person, their ego seems to be completely shattering. And on the other side of the Ten of Swords in this deck is actually the Sun card. So I don't know if I can find it. But on the other side of this wall, so on the other side of this karmic cycle closing out, what we have is we have this big breakthrough. Like the sun is coming out. This person is starting to acknowledge more about who they are, understand themselves. This person is kind of like maybe even seeking counsel, because I'm getting maybe they're seeking counsel or getting some kind of help here. I know that it'll probably be the last card. I bet it's the last card. But yeah, so as this cycle closes out, we do have this person here coming in with some kind of offer with this Six of Cups. Where actually is it? There it is. Look, on the other side of this very same wall, we have the sun. Interestingly, the sun was right next to the tower in this deck just then. So do not worry if you maybe feel like there's a couple of, I don't want to say tower moments because they don't feel heavy, they don't feel hard, but maybe like shake-ups. Maybe like, don't worry if you have like a couple of shake-ups or a couple of experiences which you like question things or things feel like they're changing. That's good because actually that's what's bringing the sun out. That is what is getting this situation to completely transform. So let's see what it is we need to know. We have the moon again. So the moon has come out twice. So basically what we need to know is not to be fearful. We need to know that, you know, sometimes we overthink things, and that is a human trait. That's a human behavior. It doesn't matter how spiritual you are, how in tune with kind of like your emotions you are. You know, maybe it's time to acknowledge that you are also in a human body. You have a human mind. So you're going to have these moments of fear, and that doesn't mean that anything bad is happening. So even if you are very reflective anyway, and you have, like I said, like a really good grip on your emotions, there's still going to be these moments where you feel a little bit of panic, and that's okay. Now, with the moon, I'm being shown straight away, this new moon we have coming up on the 13th, it's going to do something. So let us see what the new moon on the 13th is going to do. I'm being shown a banquet, like a buffet, and it's like a help yourself. Like you can go back as many times as you want. So there's something about like an increase in your abundance, about having a choice around the new moon. Like you're going to have this feast, like so much prosperity and abundance. It's like you're hungry. You're really, really hungry right now. I don't know what you're hungry for, but like you're really, really hungry, and then suddenly with this new moon, things start to appear. Like you start to have all this choice about all these things you want to eat. There is a message not to be greedy here. I don't know what that's about, but I am getting, you know, don't be greedy, only take what you need. And there's also a message coming through about making sure that you share with others. So just make sure that, you know, I don't know, if you're in like a good place, like share that energy with other people, like share your light. Just make sure, yeah, you're not being greedy, basically. So let's see, what else do we need to know? Queen of Coins. So there's some really positive career moves being made here with this Queen of Coins, and this is that feast. This is like with this new moon, it's going to shift something in your career sector. So we have like a little bit about love here, and also like past issues maybe coming to the surface. We are going to look into relationships separately. with the Tarot of Sexual Magic. But right now we're being guided towards our career. And this new moon is going to be the perfect opportunity for you to think about, what do I want to invest my time and energy in? What do I want to create? What is, you know, my intentions here? I don't know why I'm getting Great Gatsby and the 1920s. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. They're showing me like speakeasies. Maybe like keeping things private right now. Maybe some of you have, I don't know, a Great Gatsby or 1920s connection. I just keep seeing the speakeasies, and I just keep feeling like some things should be kept behind closed doors. Do you know what it is? It's like inside the speakeasies, there was so much fun and celebration, so much happiness and laughter, but people outside weren't meant to know what was going on inside. And I kind of feel that is what this message is about. It's like, have fun with those close to you. Don't necessarily invite everyone to the party. You know, it's like if you're throwing a party, say like, I don't know, you're at school, your parents go away for a weekend or whatever, and you throw a party. Well, it might sound great to invite everyone at your school to this party, but we all know that that's going to get out of hand. So even though that might sound like a great idea, and you might want to announce like, hey, look what I've got going on this weekend, like everyone can come, it's going to be amazing, you actually know you'll have a much better time if you keep it to a few close friends. You know, it'll be less mess to clean up, there'll be less people kind of like stressing you out. So I kind of feel that's what the message is. It's like, whatever you have in mind in terms of your career sector right now, keep it to a few people close to you, nurture it, you know, let them people help you, like grow it together. Maybe like you're coming together with a few friends to make something incredible, but just keep it private for now. It'll be public when the time is right. You know, like when those photos go up on Facebook and everyone's like, oh, you had a cool party at the weekend, like looks like you had fun. Sorry I didn't get, you know, an invite. It's like, wait for the right time to make it public. And the thing is, do you know why that is? Because like there's going to be lots of jealousy. People are going to be quite jealous of you for what you're about to do in your career. Yeah, we have this 5 of Cups when I split the deck. I feel like there's some jealous eyes around you now. So just yeah, be mindful of who you're talking to, and also be mindful of like protecting yourself. Sorry, I forgot my train of thought. They showed me the evil eye, so maybe yeah, just like protect your energy a little bit. For example, there's loads you guys can do. Like, you can, every time you wake up, visualize like a white ball of light around you protecting you. That's a good one. I know something that I used to do, and quite a lot of people I work with do, is they visualize like Archangel Michael's cloak going around them and feel the protection of Archangel Michael. So just do whatever works with you, but just like, please make sure you're protecting your energy right now, because it is serious. Like, lots of people feel like, oh, you know, I'm fine, like I'm always going to be fine. But we know how powerful energy is. Like, you guys are watching this reading because you believe in all this stuff. So like, you need to make sure that you also are protecting yourself from negative energies and outside influences. I'm being shown black obsidian blade, so maybe that's what you want to get, like, you know, the arrowhead obsidian blades, and also black kyanite. Too many. Right, let's find out what all this is about your career. So they said keep it in reverse, and I got Ace of Wands in reverse. Now the Ace of Wands is inspiration, it's new ideas and creativity. In reverse, there's a block. Something right now is blocked. And you know what? It could be blocked because of this jealousy around you, because maybe there's people around you right now who are blocking your new beginnings with their energy. Like, maybe you need to protect yourself more, and then this Ace of Wands can turn upright, and you're going to have this creative flow again. You're going to have this fresh start, this like spark of inspiration. I'm told, like, if a friend is being cold with you right now, it's a big warning sign that this person is not happy with your abundance. You know, like, your true friends will be your biggest supporters. Like, even if you work in the same industry, even if you work at the same company, say you don't get promoted but your friend does, like, a true friend is genuinely happy for that person. And lots of people, like, pretend they're going to be happy for you, but they're not. You know, pay attention to those. Pay attention, like, when you tell someone some kind of good news about you, how do they react? Are they happy, or do they have that moment where they're, like, pissed off and then they pretend they're happy? Like, just, you'll notice, like, you're intuitive, you'll notice as soon as you tell this person your good news, what is their instant reaction? Like, I know I have a friend who's, like, was very jealous, and it did become quite a big block for me. And I also felt really guilty a lot of the time. Like, every time something good happened to me, I was kind of, like, made to feel guilty for that happening, and, like, it was a very confusing situation. But that's why I know how important it is to protect my energy, because I've, you know, had bad experiences in the past with, like, people who have been jealous, and it has created a serious block. 2 aces. I like this. So, with these aces, I really feel like lots of new beginnings. Like I said, this new moon is bringing about some real fresh starts. And this is specifically for your career sector. I do believe it will impact your relationship as well, like your soul connection, whatever it is you share with like your divine counterpart. But at the same time, I feel like right now you're just being guided. Look, there is no point worrying about another person when that is completely outside of our control. Relationships always involve 2 people, and they should only involve 2 people. You know, you cannot change or control another person, which means that actually you can only do half of a relationship. It takes both people to work together to create a shift. Now, that is why you're only going to become more drained if you keep worrying or focusing about this connection. Instead, Spirit is saying, look, this is happening, whether you worry about it every minute of every day or whether you don't worry about it at all, you're still going to experience the same shifts. You know, in fact, if you let it go and don't worry about it so much, maybe things will move a little bit quicker. You'll definitely feel better, that's for sure. So instead, let's think about, well, what can you change and control? What can you do whilst all of this is going on? And we have creativity, we have new ideas, we have inspiration, we have me showing a mind map, so I feel like lots of expansion, new knowledge, new learning here. There's lots of things for you to do. Yeah, we have the High Priestess, she's back, and she's studying, she's working hard. I don't know what you're working on right now. Maybe you don't know what you're working on right now, but someone's definitely telling you to work on something. This is not the time for passivity. This is not the time for you to kind of give up control and, like, have a dip in your power. This is the time to embrace your power, embrace, these new energies which are in your life, and think about what are these fresh starts you want to have, what areas are important for you to focus on right now. There might be a little bit of indecision around what you do focus on, because maybe some of you have a couple of different ideas or talents. So I am going to actually pull a card for that, because I feel like they're showing me lots of people climbing into that boat. So if you're undecided right now about what to create or do, let's have a look. Let's see what guidance there is about that. Knave of Swords. So this is learning. I feel like lots of you are actually being guided towards learning right now. Yeah, it's like, obviously lots of us can't travel right now because of COVID and stuff and lockdown. So you can't really travel. You can't, you're limited. But there is something for you to learn. An online course perhaps. Maybe learn something with a friend. I don't know if you felt kind of guided to start a course with a friend, learn something with a friend, maybe even teach. Maybe you're being guided to teach other people. I feel like I'm missing out on all your guys' comments. So I've just seen Rowena's message there about the Crow Tarot, and I actually saw that on someone's Instagram the other day, and it was not a deck that I ever thought I'd be drawn to, because I have seen it on Amazon and stuff, and I've always just scrolled past it, and I saw someone using it, and I actually felt like a really strong connection to it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have a look into that. The only issue is, like, decks are so expensive, and like, they really add up. You know, I love getting new decks because I feel like every time I get a new deck, it's like reading a new book. It's a new story for me. So like, I just channel so much better with like new decks. You know, it's just so much easier because you just kind of like say what you see. Like, whereas sometimes when you get an old deck, you have specific meanings for specific cards, which can be great, but there's something really exciting about working with a new deck. I do actually have an Amazon wish list, and I just want to thank everyone who has donated decks already. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone who sent me decks over Christmas and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to have a look and just maybe purchase a couple. Okay, so yeah, we have studying, we have learning. So yeah, if you're facing an indecision about what to focus on right now, think about something which you could do right now which is going to change you in 10 years' time. I'm shown long-term investments in personal development. So this is thinking about what course could you do, or, you know, what could you start right now which is going to help you grow as a person, which is going to change the course of your destiny. It sounds really serious, but it's not. Like, it could be as simple as reading a book that you've wanted to read on something for a while. Some of you guys should definitely look up archetypes and do some work on that. Like, that's honestly really, really cool to study. I definitely want to do more on that. So have a think, basically, what is going to change your future? What can you learn or study or do which is going to impact that? Now I'm going to get one more card from this deck, and we're going to move on to the Tarot of Sexual Magic. So any other messages which we need right now? It's this one. 9 of Cups. And it's interesting that the Ace of Coins was on the bottom there as well. So we have 3 aces which are kind of popping out. So lots and lots of new beginnings. Now this 9 of Cups with this Knight of Cups that fell face up, I actually feel like there's someone here who's coming towards you who is going to help you in terms of your fulfillment. Now, is this going to be a business partner, a friend, a partner, like a romantic partner, a relative? It could even be a stranger. But there's someone here who has lots of really loving and nurturing qualities about themselves who's going to help you get towards your goals. I do feel for many this is someone of a romantic nature. But I don't want you to limit it to that. It could also just be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Lots of water energy in this read. In fact, lots of Scorpio energy in this reading. Scorpio and Pisces in particular, but just lots of water energy. So clearly the collective is feeling a little bit emotional at the moment. But also very strong. You know, water is expansive. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for that donation. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys do want to donate, you can donate via super stickers, just to help kind of support the channel, and that's going straight towards a new deck. So yeah, I'm going to have a look at Amazon as soon as I've done. But yeah, I kind of feel that right now we're undergoing this big transformation. Water to me always symbolises like the flow of things. It's about you know, it can fill a room. You know, that's what I feel. I just feel like all this liquid is being poured and there's no limit. This is limitless. I know that could be said for all the elements, but I just feel like right now, whatever it is you set your mind to, it really is limitless. It's like you can create anything. You just have to believe in yourself. Don't get caught up in your fears. And, you know, make sure that you are actually acting on those ideas. That's something that I've really committed to doing, because personally, I get lots of ideas all the time and I rarely act on them. And then I kind of look back and I'm like, do you know what? I actually wish I had done that a few months ago, because I do think it would have been like really positive. So maybe some of you are feeling a little bit like that right now. Actually, I'm going to leave these out. And that's okay. But I already know my 2021 commitment, I'm not going to call it a resolution, but the commitment I am making for this year for myself is to act more on my inspiration. It's to be more creative, to make time to be creative, because that's really important to me. It makes me feel a lot better. But yeah, you know, that is my commitment. It's just to, you know, to kind of listen to my ideas and my inner voice a little bit more. Because there's a reason why I have those ideas, right? Okay, so Tarot of Sexual Magic. Let us see. I actually can't wait to get some new decks. I know I'm going to spend so much money at the end of this reading. But I feel like I didn't buy too much last year. Okay, we have the Devil come out straight away. So, this is this person. We're coming back to the original message. So, if you didn't see the start of this reading, definitely have a look back at the beginning once it's finished, because we're basically coming straight back to the start. Something is coming full circle, because that's what we're doing in this reading. We're being brought full circle. So, this person right now who you are connected to, your divine counterpart, twin flame, soulmate, I don't care for the labels that much. You know, you guys use whatever label resonates with you. So I kind of use divine counterpart because I believe that's like the only label which really kind of like matters. Like, we all know there's different kinds of soul connections, like karmic, soulmates, and twin flames. But you know, there's no point getting hung up on the label. It doesn't change anything. You know, the label is just a label. So yeah, your divine counterpart right now with this Devil energy, this is them trying to stand out from the crowd. It's good. It is. It's good. And that's the first time I've ever read this card this way. But that's how it's being shown. These people here are representing these little things in this deck. I don't know what they are. They look like half avocados, but I don't think they are. So this is this person here trying to break free from the crowd, trying to be more of their true self. This is them representing like shedding layers of their ego, you know, bringing their true self to the forefront. This is a stubborn person though. They're not finding this easy at all. I don't know why I'm getting Leo energy. Maybe that's a little bit of my prejudice coming through for Leo men, but who knows? So this is someone who is like very, I don't know, like they just put on this front, like they're always happy and having fun, and maybe like very flirtatious, like maybe they enjoy, like, I don't know, they struggle to kind of show who they truly are, because this person is deeply romantic. They are, I can't say this word, it's like monogamous. I always struggle with that. This person loves commitment. They're a real like romantic at heart. So yeah, like I do feel like this person has a lot of Leo energy around them, maybe some like Capricorn energy. Like this person can be quite arrogant. Like they can come across quite arrogant, but that's not who they are, and you know that. Anyway, currently you might feel like you're back to back with someone. Do you know what is interesting, right? Because this Emperor here is obviously holding on to this staff which looks like a dick, and this Ace of Wands here also is very phallic. So there is going to be something quite sexual which goes on quite soon. This might be like an increase in like the sexual energy that you feel with this person, or maybe you're going to start something sexual with them, but there's something really strong coming through here about like this sacral connection you share with this person, like that like sexual energy. Straight away I'm getting cords of attachment, so I do feel there might be some attachment issues that you're working through with this person. Do you know what, that sexual connection you share with them, that is the pull, that is the attachment. It's like this is really, really good sex, or you just are you're so attracted to this person, or they're so attracted to you, and it's just like, it's something that you've struggled to experience in other connections maybe. So yeah, things are not great right now. I can see that with this Seven of Swords. I just got a weird sensation in my solar and my sacral, like this energy kind of moving up, and it was like someone preparing to jump. Like, you know, when you're like, I don't know, ready to do something really scary, like at the top of a roller coaster, or ready to like do a bungee jump, and you have that like feeling in your stomach. That's what I just got. And it's like I'm being shown someone at the edge of this cliff, and like they're ready to jump. Like someone, this could be you as well, it doesn't have to be about relationships. Maybe you're preparing to take a leap of faith, or this person is preparing to take a leap of faith towards you. But there's like such a nervousness here. It's like something is being anticipated. There's a nervousness where someone's a little bit scared about making that like bold move. Yeah, it feels like something big is about to shift. Like, I'm showing the veil being lifted. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying this live, then as Jenna said there, you know, do check out Sacred Space as well, which is where I go live and I do most of my readings there. And also you can access like so much content from other people as well. Like we have yoga, meditations, career, astrology, healing, intuitive eating. Like there's so much other content on Sacred Space, so do check it out. And also if you want a personal reading with me, they are only available to the Empower members of Sacred Space. So I have had a few questions about how to get a reading with me, and that is the way you can do it. And what you do is you get a 45-minute session with me once a month. So you can either do it for 1 month, or you can kind of carry on. I have people who've kind of, you know, worked with me like regularly every month. So you get a 45-minute session with me. And you also get, you know, we can communicate over WhatsApp. So I give you my number. And if ever you need any like check-ins or guidance, you know, I'm kind of on hand throughout that month as well. So just for those of you who have been asking, because I know I've had so many emails, and honestly I can't reply to all those emails. Like there's too many that come through every day, so please don't think I'm ignoring you. Well, I suppose I am, but I am sorry about it. Okay, maybe one day I couldn't even like get someone to answer my emails, because I know you guys want to speak to me, so I tried to kind of read through my emails really quickly, see what is the general questions I'm getting, and the most common questions I do try and answer in my lives or in my Instagram. So I'm sorry that I don't have time to reply to everyone personally. It is actually something that I feel really shit about, so I hope that helps a little bit. So we have the Knave of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Knave of Pentacles. Something feels really, really slow. Something feels so slow. Thank you so much, Tanish, for that donation as well. Yeah, something right now just feels like, oh my god, this is going to take forever. But that's how you're feeling. That's your perspective on this situation, whatever it is. Especially for the majority, this is related to another person. And you're like, this person, how slow can they move? Or like, why is this not happening in the time I want it to happen? And the reason why is because you have all these other things to do. It's like you've got this list of all these things you are ready to do and achieve, places you're meant to see, people you're meant to meet, and you're waiting for this like one thing on your bucket list, and that is this person. And you're focusing so much on them, you're not ticking off anything else on your bucket list. You're like putting everything on hold, waiting for this person. That is not how you are meant to live your life. You know, you are meant to be, you know, using this time whilst this person is being slow to focus on these other areas, these other kind of like, I don't know, ideas or things which, you know, are going to make you happy here with this Nine of Cups. Like, look, this Nine of Cups is saying you're going to have your wish fulfillment. You're going to have more than one wish fulfilled. So stop focusing on this one wish. You know, think about what other wishes you want to be fulfilled. I know that it's been, I know that it's hard. Like, I know that it's not an easy journey at all. So this is much easier said than done. I do appreciate that, but it is just some kind of food for thought here. So maybe your perspective right now is keeping you stuck because you're seeing this person being quite slow. But actually, with the Emperor, this person is not who you think they are. This person is not slow and like unhealed. You know, I hear that a lot. People are like, oh, this person or my counterpart, you know, is so unhealed. That's not true. Like, this person is doing their work just like you're doing your work. We are all healing all the time. You know, it would not be right for me to say like, oh, I've done my healing, because it's not true. Like, it's ongoing, it's constant, and it's, you know, challenging. You know, we always get triggered, we always have things being brought to our consciousness, you know, things for us to work on. So when you say, oh, this person hasn't healed, you're kind of blaming them for this situation, and you're also kind of like taking away like your responsibility as well. You know, because we're all responsible for our own healing. And do you know what? So what if this person isn't? So what if this person has things that they need to work on that they haven't yet? You know, so do I, so do you, like we all do. There's no point blaming anyone. It's their journey at the end of the day. We can only heal what we feel ready to heal. You know, there's people who can't do it for like years or decades, you know, because they just don't feel ready to face something. And you know, it would be wrong for anyone to say, oh, well, if you'd have done that 20 years ago, you'd be happier right now, because you don't know what that person's personal story is. And I hate when people blame another person for a situation. You know, this person who you're dealing with right now, I'm telling you, they are having a breakthrough. They are realizing more about their true self. They are definitely preparing to make, I want to say, a more sexual move. It doesn't feel like it's going to be as you anticipated, but you know this person's true self. And you also know what you will and won't accept. So do not accept less than you want to accept. You know, we all have a power to say no, and no is also a complete sentence. So you don't have to justify it. If this person comes in and it's not what you want, you can just say like, no, look, I'm not interested. But yeah, this person with this Emperor energy, I actually feel like they are ready to make some kind of move, but they're thinking about it. You know, when someone is moving slowly, what it's doing is it's giving them time to plan and prepare. Someone who comes in quick, I can tell you now, they have not thought things through. It's an impulsive decision. It's a emotional response, and it is not grounded. What you want is, you actually want someone who's a little bit slow to act, someone who takes their time, who's careful, considerate, and plans things. You don't actually want this to happen quickly, because if it happens quickly, like I said, it might not necessarily be the most grounded thing. And you know what? If you feel like you're ready to close the door, like some of you definitely are, that's okay. Closing the door doesn't mean, you know, I'm shutting the door on this person forever or this situation forever. You're actually saying like, do you know what? Leaving that door open is making my room a little bit cold. So instead, I'm going to close the door for now to keep myself warm. I'm going to do other things. The door is still there. Just because you close the door doesn't leave your life. It's there, but it's closed. And if this person wants to come in, then they can knock on the door. They can open the door themselves. You know, you don't need to leave the door open for this person to come back into your life. And that is something I see all the time, is where people put their own happiness to one side because they're trying so hard to bring a specific person towards them, or to accommodate, you know, another person, maybe like a friend. And you can't always do that. You know, you can only really look after yourself. We can be there to support others, but not at the expense of your own mental health, well-being, or happiness. So really, if some of you feel like you need to close the door right now, that's okay to do. You know, it is safe to close the door, because like I said, the door still exists. Just make sure that you're closing it for yourself. You're not closing it out of anger or frustration. You're closing the door because actually you're making a decision that you want to focus on yourself. And there we have the Two of Cups. And I just kind of feel like we're definitely coming to the end of this reading. But this Two of Cups is just confirming what I've just said. If someone wants to be in your life, and they will make sure that they are in your life. You know, it doesn't matter how much time has passed, or what your situation is, or what their situation is. If something is meant to happen, it'll happen. That's what this Two of Chalices is telling us. You know, this is two people who are destined to be in some kind of partnership, whether it's a relationship or not. You know, like I said, if you close the door, it doesn't mean that you're saying goodbye. It just means that you are putting yourself first, and maybe that's what is needed to create a shift. And maybe once you close the door, this person knocks on the door as soon as you've closed it, and they're like, hey, why'd you close the door on me? Like, you've left it open for like 10 years. Why are you suddenly shutting it? You know, maybe that is what this person needs, so that they then change their perspective, and they're like, oh my God, shit, like this person now has healthy boundaries. This person is not accepting my shitty behavior. So like, I need to step up my game. And maybe you closing the door is what triggers this person to change their behavior. You know, it is really easy to blame other people for disrespecting us. And someone can only disrespect us if we don't have the boundaries in place to respect ourselves. Another lesson that I learned, you know, sometimes like what we do is we blame other people for upsetting us, or for like, I don't know, just having casual sex with us and not caring about us. And the truth is, like, we allow that situation to take place because we accept it and we make space for it, and we even take part in it. And us taking part and accepting that kind of behavior, whatever it is, you know, what we're doing is we're not loving ourselves enough. We are showing this person, you know, this is how you treat me because this is how I'm treating myself. So sometimes, like I said, closing that door, working on ourselves is literally the best thing we can do, because either we learn to kind of like refuse this person's toxic behavior, or like ego self, and we, you know, they either level up, or we attract someone who can give us what we want. You know, when we say, you know, I'm not accepting this anymore, either that person says, okay, I'll give you more, or someone else comes along and says like, hey, I've got what you want to accept. You know, so that is how alignment and vibration works. I hope that's helped a little bit. Yeah, I feel like lots of us are kind of going through this shift where we think about, you know, what is our worth? How do we value ourselves? And also, how do we show that? You know, what are our boundaries? Are they there? Like, are our boundaries what we want them to be? Are we, you know, even like like sticking to our boundaries? I know this is something I do a lot, especially in friendships, is I decide like, oh, this is my boundary, this is what I'm gonna stick to in like a specific friendship for it to be a healthy friendship. And then I never enforce it. Like, this person just crosses my boundary and I'm like, okay, it's cool because you're a friend. And it's not okay. And that is my responsibility. That is not my friend's fault. I'm not angry at my friend for crossing that boundary, you know, because that's my responsibility to say, actually, like, this is crossing a line that I've put for myself. So, like, I'm sorry about that, but I can't do that. Or, you know, I need some time for myself right now. I can't be there for you right now. So, you know, it's just like asking us right now to check in with what our boundaries are, and are we enforcing them? Are we sticking to them? In all relationships, you know, even relationship you have with your parents, like, you need boundaries there. Every relationship you have with another person needs boundaries, because boundaries are what you put in order to protect yourself. Okay, I'm going to leave this reading here. It has been an hour. It's been quite a long one. Just so much came through. So I'm going to be back here next Saturday at 3 p.m, my usual time. Oh, thank you so much, Lizzie, for that donation. That's really generous. Yeah, thank you everyone who donated. I really do appreciate it. And now I definitely have enough money to go and buy a deck. So I'm going to have a look at Amazon as soon as this is done. So yeah, if you feel a little bit challenged right now, don't worry. I feel like there's a lot going on at the start of this year. I do feel that January's a little bit slow, but February's definitely going to pick up some speed. But there's lots of collective shifts going on. So I'm going to continue to do these readings on YouTube. So like I said, every Saturday at 3 p.m. If I can't do it for whatever reason, like I wasn't feeling well yesterday, I will let you guys know. And you can also see kind of like the time and stuff on the live, so you can see when I've scheduled it for. Don't forget, do check out Sacred Space as well, because yeah, do check out Sacred Space as well, because there's so much extra content on there. And like I said, it's half price for the first month, so you get 50% off. If you don't like it, you can cancel. There's no set subscription. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. And I'm really excited to see where Sacred Space goes this year as well. I've got even more amazing people who are going to be joining the team. So there's just so much extra content. And the idea is, you know, I want you guys to feel empowered. I want you to not be stuck by this connection anymore. I don't want you to feel like, you know, everything is hard, like everything is a struggle, because it shouldn't be. And I know, because like I've been there, I have done that, I've had done so much shadow work, and it's not easy. And that's why I'm not here to say like, this is what you need to do. I'm just giving you some ideas so that you can go and do this in your own time when you're ready. Because, you know, sometimes when we get told to do something, it's just not the right time for us. I know there's things which I just wasn't ready to face for a long time, and that's okay. That's part of my journey, and that's why I understand that sometimes when you guys get guidance, it's just not the right time to do it, and that's okay. So I wanted to create this platform where you have all the tools you need so that you can heal, so that you're not alone, and so that you guys can afford to do it. Because when I was kind of going through the worst time, I was spending a lot of money on help, because that's what I needed. I needed a therapist. I needed like to work out. I needed like yoga and exercise and so much extra help, basically. And I just thought, you know, I'm blessed to be able to afford this. You know, I'm blessed that at the time I was in full-time work, you know, training to be an actuary, so I was blessed with like a good salary, and I could afford to do that. And I thought, you know, that is not a privilege that lots of people have. So the idea is I wanted to bring all those amazing experts I've worked with into one place, and, you know, give you guys access to them, so that hopefully, you know, you have enough help and support to kind of do this journey, you know, to, you know, work through whatever you need to work through and become who you want to be, you know. That is my goal. And also, for every 100 members that we get on Sacred Space, the price reduced, because like I need to make enough money to like pay for everyone's like content and stuff. But you know, I want it to be as affordable as possible. So like the idea is that the more members we get, I can decrease the price even more, so that, you know, it becomes even more affordable. So that is the direction this is heading in, and hopefully 2021 is the year for that to kind of like really happen. So, thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to end this here, and I will definitely have a new deck by next week, as long as Amazon ships it in time. But yeah, thank you so much for all your donations, all your time, and it's good to be back. I will see you guys here next week. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at twinflameguidance555. That's where I'll just post regular updates on my story. So if I do like a spontaneous live, or I'm going live on Sacred Space or whatever, I'll put notifications up there so you guys can kind of just see what I'm doing. But yeah, this was a really good reading. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. Yeah, so the link for Sacred Space is on my YouTube already, so if you just kind of like look down in the description box, it's there. But I will share another link as well. So yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys next week.